Now, I think it's time we have to ask ourselves this question, y'all. Now, realistically, I got this video idea from another content creator on another game, but I thought it was funny for that game because of what the whole video was, which I guess by now you guys know, and that's if said character fell off. In our case, we're talking about Scarlet. Would we say Scarlet fell off? Because this is a character that a lot of people obviously I don't want to say it's a character that a lot of people aren't using. But first off, let's make it clear. When we say fall off, we don't mean that Scarlet is bad. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, Zxous says Scarlet fell off. He just hate. No. We're not saying Scarlet is bad because she fell off, right? My definition of falling off is when you go from 1 to 2, because you literally fell from 1 to 2. You fell off your high horse at 1 and fell all the way to 2, right? Or fell from 2 to 3, or fell from 3 to 8, or fell from 8 to 17, or fell from 17 to 155, and fell from 150. Anyways, but yeah, it did Scarlet fall off, right? This is a character that obviously, as you guys see, no overload gear. 555 at max. I told you guys I wasn't going to invest into this character. And the reason why I'm not investing into this character, even though I have the full gear set ready for her, is because I'm never going to use her. Does that make sense? When it comes to a lot of these other characters, I don't use them, right? I don't use Ludmilla like that, right? I will use her in solo raids here and there. I use even Scarlet here and solo raid here and there, so I guess I will be using her, don't get it wrong, but like some of these characters I just don't be using, like I just don't. And I feel like for Scarlet, we have so many DPSs in this game now who just hit very hard. I don't want to say they hit harder than her, but we just have so many good DPSs in this game where to me it's like I don't need her, right? We have Laplace, we have Red Hood, we have Ludmilla, we have Modernia, we have Ein, we have Anise, we have the other Scarlet who's better. We have A2 is pretty decent. We have Alice when you invest into her, right? You have Guillotine, give her overload gear, you cook, right? You have a lot of these characters do pretty good damage as well, right? And the Scarlet's obviously another one who does do good damage. But we're going to take a look at this character, kind of revisit her, I guess her 1 year later showcase, even though I already did that, right? But this video is basically a kind of a copy of that video, which was just going back at a character who was once so freaking good, and I guess considering it to be a fall off, right? So Scarlet will give herself a 100% attack buff. She'll lose HP, deal damage, crit rate, crit damage buffs continuously after a certain point of HP. We're going to take a look at the fall off of Scarlet. Now, like I said multiple times, Scarlet is not a bad character. We can actually go into scope lock here, right? Scarlet isn't a bad character. She's just a character who's like literally She's not like but like it's not that Scarlet's bad at all. I would still say Scarlet is one of the best characters in the game. Would I say she's top 10? Probably would still say she's a top 10 character. I wouldn't say she's top 5 because my top 5 is Red Hood, Red Hood, Crown, Modernia. Then you have OG Scarlet, like the actual Black Shadow one, Litter. Then from there you go to like Bunny Girls and School Girls, right? Those are characters that I would have there. I'd have D-Killer Wife in the top 10 maybe. Would I say D-Killer Wife is better than Scarlet right now? Like it's very hard because it's like you gotta remember when they ranked Scarlet, she was the only DPS in the game. Like for real. She was the only good DPS in the game. Seer damage output is not bad. She was the only character in the game that was really doing damage for her, right? But now because there's so many other, and I said this like so long ago, and people just thought I was hating because I didn't have the character, but in reality, it's just how it is. Scarlet's value on the team is nothing but damage, right? When you look at Summer Anise, she's a very good damage dealer, but she offers value to this team by what? Buffing up electric code allies, right? When you look at Crown, when you look at Litter, these are all supports obviously, so they're buffing up, but these characters have value that is just generational. DPS, when your value in the game is only DPS, it's not hard for you to get replaced. It doesn't mean you're a bad character because they make a character who's stronger than you. It just means it's not hard for you to get replaced. If my reasoning for wanting to use Scarlet on the team is because she does big damage, but I have other characters who do more damage, why would I use this Scarlet? That's just common sense anywhere you go, right? it's not that Scarlet is a bad, like, look at her damage, right? It doesn't even look good here because this is scope lock, and obviously I don't have her overload gear and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm probably doing a disservice for Scarlet. Like, I'm showing you guys, Scarlet's not doing this for real, bro. It's way more. It's way more. I'm showing you guys a disservice because she's type advantage here. She's not doing jack. That's the, I think maybe if I come off scope lock, she'd do more, right? Sometimes scope lock is a bit iffy because like core 7s them and 10-10-10s them, but they have regular gear. Where I guess like having all this extra gear, we'll see. But my whole point is like, if her whole thing is just damage, it's not hard for her to get replaced. There's a lot of characters I would say hit harder than Scarlet. I would say Ludmilla hits harder in certain situations. Obviously the other Scarlet, I would say Red Hood. I would say I wouldn't say Ein, maybe. I don't know. I have to compare that, but I'm not like leveling on my Scarlet. Summer Anise is very close, but I wouldn't say she is. I would say like there's a lot of characters that do hit very hard in this game, right? You can already see here, it's already a better showing without the scope lock because of the actual gear and the builds and stuff like that. You can see it's a thing here for, oh, okay, well, Anise is also going, Anise has like a full investment. Y'all don't worry about her. Anise does all these things, right? But Scarlet, she does have very good like use, right? Obviously, remember her AoE is very big for mob clearing and stuff like that. But their whole thing is damage. So she fell off, in my opinion, because there's just other characters who do damage, right? And let me say that again, because what 90%, and I know you guys did, but what 90% of you guys probably just heard me say was that she was bad. No, let me repeat it because you guys really have a hard time of listening to what I say. I said Scarlet has gotten dethroned when it comes to doing damage. That doesn't mean she doesn't do damage. It just means there's a character in the game who hits harder than her. That doesn't mean she's bad. That doesn't mean nothing like that. I will repeat again. I would, but I'm not going to. But yes, Scarlet has been replaced when it comes to damage, right? As the main damage dealer, right? You can still use her in solo raid. You can still use her in union raid where you need multiple teams, right? For all we know, she's going to be, maybe she might be very useful in the new special interception or whatever, right? This is a better showing, right? My Anise compared to my Scarlet is night and day, and Scarlet's going crazy, right? Even though she's not hitting as hard, my Anise is 10-10-10 with overload gear. Not to mention, she's an electric getting her own buffs and stuff like that. Like all these other buffs, like, yeah. Scarlet is a very, very good character. Don't get it wrong, but her fall off has definitely hit. She's a character who, I wouldn't say she fell off in ranking. Like, if we go to Pridewin, I'm pretty sure Pridewin still, well, to be fair, Pridewin doesn't, like, revamp their edits or their tier list, right? They don't ever, like, when they rank a character, they don't fix it, right? So Scarlet here is triple S. They don't fix it. They fix, like, some of them. Like, this was fixed, but they rarely fix them, right? This was fixed. Would I still say she's triple S in everything? Of course I would, just because, well, it depends. How do you guys value a tier list, right? If the character was triple S in everything else, but because of their damage, right? Let me add, this is the question of the day before we wrap up the video. Question of the day. If a character is triple S in everything, but 10 other characters come after her and they're just better than that character, would that character who was just triple S in every rank still be triple S, or will her ranking go down despite there now being a 10 different characters who are better? Does that make sense? Because it's like, yeah, she's still very good. There's just 10 more characters who are better. So does she lose rankings? That's question of the day. But yeah, I would say Scarlet fell off. She's still very good though. It's your boy Zxous. I'm out. Bye.